the Carolina Panthers have announced that offensive coordinator Brad Idzik will be calling the plays this year. That's something I and a lot of Carolina Panthers observers have been calling for some time. Dave Canal struggled in a dual role as the offensive coordinator and head coach. He admitted as much at times last season that he was not paying enough attention to the actual overall game situation and was instead trying to figure out the next play to call. Brad Idzik was the youngest offensive coordinator in the NFL last season, but he is a football brat. He grew up on football. His father is a former general manager of the New York Jets. Idzik is a North Carolina native, played at Wake Forest, and I'm excited. I'm excited that Dave Canales isn't calling the plays because wasn't that impressed with his play calling for parts of the season. Hopefully Brad Idzik can figure out a way to keep Bryce Young maturing and growing as a quarterback. Kill that inconsistency that Bryce Young has shown, because Bryce Young literally threw for 400 yards in one game and under 100 in another game. That's crazy. And if Bryce Young can be more consistent, Brad Idzik's going to look like an offensive genius, and he'll be a head coach in a year or two. But we'll have to see. I think the Carolina Panthers need to keep a two-headed running back combo going, even if Rico Dowdle prices himself out of the team. Cuba Hubbard is excellent, but he wears down. And Rico wore down last year. Was after his superb middle of the year, he started cramping up and not playing as well late in the season. So I think the Panthers need a two-headed running back attack. And they need to run the ball more consistently and stay with it longer in games when they can. And they need to keep that offensive line healthy and improving, because Bryce Young is a very good deep throwing quarterback. A good running attack with a play action passing attack that gets deep is very effective. Despite Bryce Young's small stature, he is a deep ball thrower. And I think they need to incorporate more of that in the offense. Brad Idzik will get to call plays for the first time. He's been a wide receivers coach or assistant wide receivers coach most of his NFL career. He was offense coordinator for the first time last season and didn't call plays. I can understand maybe a first-year offense coordinator not calling plays, but I'm glad Canales trusts him enough to let him call plays and take something off Canales' plate. Because I think Canales is a good coach, but I think he'll be a better coach when he is worrying about the overall game and not just the offense. Hopefully that will help Bryce Young. Brad Idzik seems to be very smart. He's very energetic. There's a trend of young offensive coordinators and in the NFL having success, and then they springboard to be head coaches. So hopefully Brad Idzik will be the next offensive genius. The Panthers need to address another playmaker for their offense. Xavier Legette is a bust. I don't know if he'll be on the roster next year. If he is, it'll be in a support role. Coker's good. McMillan is excellent. Although we'll have to see. Sometimes NFL players, their second year isn't as good as their rookie year, especially at wide receiver. But we'll have to see. I don't think that'll be the case. Could be. The Panthers may add a receiving tight end. That would be very good for Bryce Young and the overall offense. I don't know what Idzik thinks about the tight end, how much he wants to use it in his offense, which is still the Canales offense, of course. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the Carolina Panthers. This is a football channel on YouTube. I cover all teams. This video will be on Facebook and YouTube as well. But I'm a Carolina Panthers fan. I live in North Carolina. I used to cover the Panthers for sportsblog.com several years ago. I was a big enough Panthers blogger that the Carolina Panthers followed me on my old Twitter account. Then when I got out of blogging, I let that Twitter account die, which I deeply regret right now because I can't recover it. And it's still there. I just can't figure out how to get it back. May have to look into that some more. But biggest day of my Twitter life was when Steve Smith just called me out and ripped me all over for something I said about him, and a Jock Sniffer fan sent to Steve Smith, which was ironic because I was defending Steve Smith when they released him, and then I mentioned why they may have released him, and he didn't like it. And he was my favorite player of all time for the Panthers, still is, with the possible exception of Luke Kuechly. But anyway, Brad Idzik gets his chance to shine. Canales gets to take a step back and look at the overall picture. I like the progression of the Panthers offense last year. It's just Bryce Young has to be more consistent. He can't be throwing for 400 yards in one game and under 100 in the next. That's just crazy. And it's a prove it year for Bryce Young. He's got to prove it now to get his big contract with the Panthers. And of course, the Panthers fans' fear is that Bryce Young will be the next quarterback to lead the Panthers and find better success. That seems to be a history of late, which just shows how bad the Panthers were. That they are improving. I think Bryce Young will get another contract with the Carolina Panthers, and Brad Idzik will be a key part of that. If Idzik is good, like I hope he is, then everybody's going to be happy. I expect the Panthers to add more playmakers this offseason because they want Bryce Young to succeed, to make it look like they're not morons for trading all that draft capital to get him. But every time Bryce Young is playing, I'm just glad that he is not the little wilting flower I thought he would be. I thought Bryce Young would get murdered due to his small size. He's been a very tough quarterback for his stature. And with Brad Idzik calling the plays this year, let's hope Young can get a little bit more consistent, get a little better, and the future may be bright for the Carolina Panthers. Thanks for watching this on YouTube. If you're watching it here, please hit the follow button and hit the subscribe button. Excuse me, I keep getting my two channels mixed up. Facebook, hit the follow button. YouTube, hit the subscribe button, notification bell. Please support this small channel. I'm not AI, I'm not good looking, I'm not smooth talking, but I have a passion and a knowledge for the NFL, and I like to talk sports. Thank you.